Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome to the weekend review for the 5th round of the FA Cup. What a weekend of FA Cup action we have had. And let's start off in the only place you can start off. Lincoln City went to Burnley and beat them 1-0. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable scenes. A non-league side beating a Premier League side. Burnley, not the best of Premier League sides, but they're not bad. It's not like it was a Sunderland or a Hull or a Swansea, one of the really bottom of the table teams. This is Burnley, a team that have been really solid in the league this season and even held Chelsea to a 1-1 draw at Turf Moor earlier. I believe it was last weekend they did that. This weekend they go and lose 1-0 to Lincoln City. And you know what? Watching the game, I couldn't tell who was the Premier League side and who wasn't. To be fair, neither of them looked of any real quality, but Lincoln matched Burnley throughout that game. You would never have known there was a difference in league between these two sides because Lincoln matched them all the way and thoroughly deserved to win that game. Absolutely deserved to win that game, and I feel it's a fair result, especially considering the absolute twat Joey Barton, what he did during that game. I believe Lincoln had a corner, so Barton decided he'd mark the big man, the number 9, Reed, I think his name is. He goes and stamps on his foot. He stamps on the striker's foot. Reed goes to complain to the referee. He puts his arm out to complain like this. Joey Barton puts his head into Reed's arm and then clutches onto his face, falls to the floor, pretending to be injured, trying to get a man sent off. You are a Premier League player and you are trying to get a non-league player sent off. Do you have no shame? And not only on top of that, he later went onto Twitter to clarify that he wasn't diving. Apparently Reed had actually put his arm into him. If you see what had happened, if you watch the video, you can clearly tell that Barton has put his head into Reed's arm and is just play acting to try and get the man sent off. To be honest, Barton throughout that game should have been sent off. He put his hand round someone else's face during the game. The guy overreacted. He put his hands on his face like that to act as if he'd been shot. But that's a lot fairer than what Barton did. Barton did not deserve to be on that pitch. He did not deserve to be on that pitch. Flanagan as well, John Flanagan, could have been sent off for shoving the guy as well. Really, Burnley were lucky to get away with 1-0, to be honest. They were lucky to have 11 men on the pitch. Joey Barton and John Flanagan, just horrific what they did. Elsewhere, the other shock of the weekend, League One Millwall knockout champions Leicester. I haven't seen any of the highlights from the game, but from what I've heard, Leicester were just abysmal. They put out a second string team, and what do you expect? You are in the 5th round of the FA Cup, last 16 of the competition against League One opposition. You don't go and put your reserves out. I don't care if you've got a Champions League game coming up. You've got a few days to rest until that. You go and put your full strength team out there. What's the chances of Leicester winning the Champions League? Little to none, really. Let's be fair. Little to no chance of Leicester winning the Champions League. They've got a much bigger chance of winning the FA Cup. And for Leicester, that is a fairy tale. Not only to win the league, but the next season to win the FA Cup would be unreal. But no, Claudio Ranieri has just decided to give up on the FA Cup. I know it's not as lucrative money-wise as the Champions League, but I'd rather win the FA Cup than go out of the Champions League at the quarterfinals, or they're probably not even going to get through this round. Sevilla are doing really well in La Liga. I would be shocked if Leicester can see off Sevilla at all. So I think he's sacrificed the FA Cup for nothing whatsoever. But congratulations to Millwall. Congratulations to Millwall. This is the first time I think they've been in the quarterfinals since early 2000s when they got to the semi-finals. So it's a big achievement for them, fantastic for them, and they are rewarded with a game against Spurs, who saw off Fulham. convincing performance by Harry Kane. Spurs back on the winning track. This is exactly what they need. Going into the second leg against Ghent, they needed this win, and this could propel them. They've struggled at Wembley this season, but this win could give them the confidence boost they need to see off Ghent in the Europa League. Elsewhere, Middlesbrough, Manchester United and Chelsea saw off challenges from Oxford, Blackburn and Wolves respectively. All sides put up a good fight. Blackburn and Wolves showing that the Championship, even at the bottom of the Championship, there is a good competitive level there. And Oxford repping it for the League One sides. I believe they're League One. If they're not League One, I apologise. But repping it for the lower league sides as well. Really pushing Middlesbrough. And it took Middlesbrough a late goal to win that game. So, well done to them. The other, somewhat of an upset, Huddersfield Town holding Manchester City to a goalless draw. And City put out a pretty decent squad as well. So, Huddersfield really did their work to get this draw. I think no one really wants a replay. I feel like replays are going to become extinct in the next few years. When it gets to this point, you really just don't want a replay. No one wants a replay. The amount of games that there are in the Championship and in the lower leagues in general, you play 46 games a season, at least, in those lower leagues. So you don't want to be adding up replays on top of that. Then you've got, you know, the top teams in the Premier League will have Europa League and Champions League to contend with. So I think replays, getting rid of replays is a necessary thing to do if we want to keep players fresh, and especially with it affecting the national side when it comes to the World Cup and the Euros. I think replays will become extinct in the next few years. But Huddersfield have got a replay with Manchester City. They go to the Etihad. It'll be a lucrative game for Huddersfield, and if they could beat Manchester City, that would be incredible. I feel like City at home should be beating Huddersfield, but then again, they should be beating Huddersfield away. So, who knows what could happen. We'll see what happens there. Tomorrow we'll have the game Sutton against Arsenal, which is the game I think everyone's been waiting for. This was the one, when it was pulled out of the hat, everyone wanted to see this. Sutton United hosting Arsenal, that 3G pitch they've got an artificial pitch, that small changing room as well. This is going to be a culture shock to Arsenal players who have not had to experience that. To go from the Allianz Arena, a brand new stadium like the Allianz Arena, to this, to Sutton's ground. It is absolute madness. And that is the beauty of the FA Cup. This is what the FA Cup's all about. Having the big teams go to the little teams, and having the little teams go to the big teams. It is the magic of the FA Cup. And you know what? A lot of people have written off Sutton already. A lot of people have said there's no way Arsenal are losing this game. I'm a little more confident than that. I would say there's probably a 10% chance. A lot of people are going to say 99% chance Arsenal winning this game. I'm going to say it's not that clear cut, especially with the performance Arsenal put in against Bayern, and the fact that they've had to travel from Germany back to England for this game. Although they've had a couple more days rest, it's still going to be rough on them. And I don't know, I would love it. I would absolutely love to see Sutton win this game. But you feel if Sutton do win the game, if Arsenal get knocked out of the FA Cup, that's it for Wenger. Arsene Wenger would have to go at the end of the season for Arsenal. And I'm a fan of Arsene Wenger, but I think it's coming. I think Arsene Wenger's reign is going to end. Can he go out, though, with an FA Cup? That would be the perfect way to go. The man who's won it more times than anyone else in the history of the competition. That is crazy to say, but can he go out with a bang this season and win the FA Cup, or will Sutton United really pull off the biggest, and this would be bigger than Lincoln against Burnley? Can they pull off the biggest shock in FA Cup history, in at least the last 100 years of FA Cup history? This would be absolutely insane. But looking forward to the next round, like I said, Spurs will play Millwall. That is a big game, a derby game. Millwall will be well up for that. At White Hart Lane, I see Spurs breezing through that game, to be honest, but I hope Millwall give them a challenge. The other game that we know is confirmed is Chelsea against Manchester United. I'm fine. I am absolutely fine with that. We are so fucked. So that is the big game of the draw. United against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. What a what a game that'll be. Then you've got Middlesbrough will play either Manchester City or Huddersfield, the winner of that game, and then Lincoln City will play either Sutton United or Arsenal. So that would be incredible for Sutton. If Sutton beat Arsenal, you'll have Sutton United against Lincoln City in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, which would guarantee a non-league side to go into the semi-finals at Wembley. Madness. This FA Cup season has been absolute madness, and I'm absolutely loving it. I still feel this Spurs got the perfect result. Spurs got the perfect draw with Millwall. I feel this is Spurs' competition to lose, in my opinion. Spurs have the easiest run to the semis. I think this is... I'd still put my money on Spurs to win this competition. But let me know what you guys think. What was the biggest shock of the weekend? Was it Lincoln winning? Was it Huddersfield drawing against Manchester City? And what is the reason you guys love the FA Cup? I love the FA Cup for exactly the fixture that we've got tomorrow night. Sutton against Arsenal. That is the absolute perfect emphasis of what the FA Cup is about. But yes, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have a great day, night, evening, and I will see you next weekend. Goodbye!